Today we're going to talk about the power of being an Olympian. But before I start speaking about the power of being an Olympian, I want you to go down and hit the subscribe button, please. Hit the subscribe button and don't forget to select the like button when you finish watching this video. We are watching the Olympics presently, and it's a really exciting thing to watch. One of the most favorite things I like to do is watch things and watch people perform in an extraordinary way. Watch people do things that other people never thought was possible for them to do. You could be standing at the starting line of a race. You're standing there as a group of people and you're running, and Usain Bolt is part of the running group. And you all line up to start, and what in life what people do, they stand around and they could fellowship and they talk and they learn and they grow and they do all what they do, but they stand there at that starting line and they look at the challenges in front of them. They look and say, hey, I will never win. I will never beat Usain Bolt, so I'm not going to start off from the starting point. And they just stand there as a cluster and talk and talk and talk to each other. But then, as soon as the gun sounds, there's always those people who put themselves in action. Because they realize that even if they can't beat Usain Bolt, if they get 10 steps ahead, 10 meters ahead, 60 meters ahead, if they get 70 meters ahead, if they get further ahead than the ones who are standing there talking at the starting point, they have completed something, they have accomplished something, they have gotten one step closer to the finish line than they were before. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, the power of being an Olympian. To talk about the power of being an Olympian, we're going to use 4 points. Point number 1, you have to be willing to prepare. You have to be willing to prepare. A lot of times when we are preparing for things, we have a tendency of keeping our eyes on the donut hole. But today I want to encourage you to keep your eye on the donut instead of the donut hole. Start looking at the big picture. Don't look at the immediate results as you prepare. You have to remember that growth is a process. You have to remember that you have to take steps in preparation. You do today what others will not, so you can do tomorrow what others cannot. So as you prepare, as you sharpen your mind, as you learn the skills that you need to learn, as you go out there and you take the classes that you need to take, you read the books that you need to read, you watch the podcasts that you need to watch, you implement the information that you're gleaning. Go back and look at the power of gleaning. You know, and that you're gleaning, and as you're gleaning that information and you prepare, what you do every single day is becoming the sum total of what your success is later on. So that's what we were talking about in point number 1, when you talk about that you have to be willing to prepare. Have to be willing. You have to have that desire to prepare. You have to have that desire every day when you get up to prepare for success. Number 2, you have to be willing to respect the process. Everything is a process. Every single thing in a process. You can't appreciate the sunshine without the rain. You can't appreciate the sunshine without the rain. There's always going to be tough times. There's always going to be times when it's raining. But yes, you know that you need the rain in order for you to have times of sunshine. You see, every drop of rain causes a river to flow. So you have to learn to respect the process, the sharpening process, the growth process, the process in which you're becoming humble, the process in which you're dealing with your stubbornness nature, the process in which you're dealing with your hard-headedness, the process in which you're developing yourself as an appropriate leader, the process in which you're developing yourself as an appropriate human being, the process in which you're shaving off those extras, those portions versions of you that will cause the future you to be corrupted. The process in which you're refining yourself. You're going for refinement. And as you go through that refinement, you will be able to control or able to handle the next good thing. You have to learn to go through the process. The process is the refining process. The process of you becoming mature. The process of you learning and growing into the person that you're to become. That process is very important, because if you don't go through that process, you will self-implode when you get to the end prematurely. You will self-implode when you get a lot of influence. You'll self-implode when you're blessed financially. You see, you'll become self-implode when it happens. All of us have different natures about us that we have to deal with, and that's what the process deals with. Point number 3, you have to see yourself as a winner. You have to see yourself as a winner. In the 1980s, the Olympic committee decided they're going to use this wonderful experiment. What they do, they took athletes and they hooked them up to sensory devices. And what they had them sit down and they had them literally run the race in their minds. And they found out that the same muscles were firing as the muscles that will fire when they were literally running the race. You see, they practiced so much that there was such residual amount of muscle memory that the muscle were literally firing as they were thinking about running and seeing themselves winning and seeing themselves getting to the end point of the race, that their body was responding just as if they were literally running the race itself. So you have to see yourself as a winner. You have to break down that stinky thinking, and then you have to build yourself up, and you have to see the end product. You see, success is 80% of what happens up here. It's 20% of the skills and everything else you learn, but it's 80% of what happens up here. So you have to get rid of stinky thinking, and you have to get that mindset of a winner. You have to get that mindset that's conditioned to win. So you have to see yourself winning. Point number 4, you have to become a successful person. You have to become a successful person. You see, success is truly the person that you're becoming. You have to work on you. You have to work on you. Too many times people walk around with a King Saul spirit. You see, they walk around with a King Saul spirit in that they can't wait for the Samuels of life to come and do what they need to do in their capacity to do what they hustle things, and they jump, and in their hot-headed natures, they jump forth and they do things that they shouldn't do because it's not their time to do or their role to do it. And they come forth with that King Saul spirit. And you see, when you have that King Saul spirit, you come forth and you want to throw, even when people are around you that are quieting you and are helping you, you want to throw spears and javelins at them. You see, and that's what we have to do. You have to take care of that King Saul spirit. You have to slay that King Saul spirit. So you have that Joseph anointing, where you could go into places, you could go in anywhere, and you could grow it from scratch. You could give revelation, you could give insights, you could pour insight, you could take something that somebody has as average and you can make it extraordinary. Too many people, what it is, they cannot be blessed like how they need to be blessed because they're too hot-headed. They're too hot-headed. They have that Saul anointing, that Saul, King Saul spirit, and that King Saul spirit needs to be slain. And you have to slay that King Saul spirit, the rebellious spirit, that spirit which is all about me, that spirit which is puffed up, that spirit which is arrogant. And you have to slay that, and you have to put on that Joseph anointing, where you're humble, where no matter how much money you have, no matter what you have, you'll still treat the mailman just just like he's a human. You still treat the doorman just like he's a human. You still treat the janitor just like he's a human. You still treat the guy driving the taxi cab like he's a human. He doesn't have to be the head of the Federal Reserve Bank. He doesn't have to be the president. He doesn't have to be the prime minister for you to treat him like a human, because you have grown into that person of success. You have grown into somebody that can handle the weight of success. You have grown into somebody that can handle the blessing, the abundance. You have to learn to be a person of success. Somebody who could walk in abundance. Somebody who would walk with grace. Somebody who could walk with love without becoming puffed up, without becoming arrogant, without becoming like you're better than everybody else. You have to remember one fundamental fact, that you are blessed for one reason, so that you can be a blessing. You're blessed so that you could pour out into others. You're blessed so that you could love on others. You're blessed so that you can be an instrument of change. You're blessed so that you could be someone in which your Creator could work and function through. Someone that could be a portal of His glory. Somebody could be a resonating factor here on the earth. So as you go back and you look at the power of an Olympian, I want you to embrace it. I want you to learn from it. I want you to glean from it and go out there and share it with as many people as you wish. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button, please. Hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to select the like button when you finish watching this video. Go out there and learn the power of being an Olympian. You are truly a diamond in a field full of gemstones. God bless you.